everybody. Welcome. It's Mary Wieden. Yes, the throat clearing Mary Wieden. I said that the other day. You know, that's a sort of a legacy from my smoking days. Always clear your throat before you go on the air, and I do, and I don't see that red light, and because it's behind the microphone. I don't always see it, and I'm before. Anyway, welcome to Mary Wieden and You. We are going to talk about art and have some fun today. It's fanciful and it's fun. It's serious business too. With Keri Davis, owner of Pacesetter Gallery. She's just won a terrific award. But I just wanted to mention something about, the Palisades business in California is not to be confused with our Palisades. Our Palisades is safe and doing fine. But every time I hear that name, it's like, oh yeah, they're talking about that one. But there's a lesson to be learned from that bunch. It's a lesson to be learned probably a long, long time ago, which is that pay attention to who is running your life. Don't just say, well, the weather's beautiful. I don't care who the mayor is. It doesn't matter to me. I'll go to the beach today. Well, you got to pay attention to that stuff. Look at that idiot mayor who went off overseas, on the day that the fires happened. And Governor Oilyhead, I mean, honestly, he's an idiot too. They are idiots, you people. And if you think you've got idiots in your town, here's something wonderful for you. 3 weeks from today is the filing deadline for candidates. The municipal elections in the state of Mississippi all will take place on the 1st of April. Yeah, I know, April Fool's Day, but it's true. They will take place. And that is an opportunity. It's for other jobs, but the main one is the mayors. If you don't like your mayor, you start finding people who you think would be a good person to be the mayor of your town. And talk with that person. Encourage them to run. We need good people in all these. I live in an unincorporated area of Rankin County, so I don't have a dog in that race. But I certainly am influenced by all these people, don't you know, as we all are. So here's the thing, like in Jackson, Lumumba is running and he's got competition. And one of the people has been on the show already, John Horn, who's a state senator. For instance, let's see, in Ridgeland, let's see, who's running in Ridgeland? I don't even know who's running in Ridgeland. I know Gary McGee would be running for sure. In Vicksburg, I would presume that George Flaggs would be running. Madison, Mary Hawkins Butler is running for re-election, and she does have, I think, some opposition, some token opposition, but she's done a great job with that city, whether you like her or not. She's done a great job with the city of Madison. It's beautiful. And so she's running, and yes, she is fighting a battle of cancer. She has breast cancer, and she revealed that a few weeks ago, and I hope it's a lumpectomy or something that's very dealable. Now it's not the dangerous, horrible thing that it used to be. In Flowood, Gary Rhodes is not running, but one of the people who's running is Kathy Smith, who's a city council person or alderperson, whatever they call them over there. And she was on this program, and Keri Davis, who's right here, the owner of Pacesetter Gallery, was telling me that she was here on the show. I knew she'd been here, and I knew she wanted to come back about something. Now I know what it is. So anyway, so you might know some of these other people, other towns, who are either running or not running, or if they have somebody who is a blithering idiot, then do your part to get rid of them, okay? You can't just sit back and say, well, how awful. And then we also talked about, like in Jackson, the fire department, for instance, speaking of fires, the fire department is people are saying they did some stories yesterday about all this mold and god-awful stuff, mildew and things just falling apart in fire department stations. Well, should have been talking about it for the last 7 years, I guess. But whoever leads needs to pay attention to these things, obviously. Pay attention to where the water supplies are from in your cities. Of course, Jackson has got its own problems, and I think Jackson Water must be dealing with it pretty decently. But, you pay attention to all that kind of stuff. Pay attention to your infrastructure and all that. So that is my connection to the Palisades. They call it out there the Palisades. And here it's just plain Palisades. But anyway, so let me say hello to Keri Davis. And she's brought an artist with us. Oh, somebody more for me to envy. His name is Cliff Speaks. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
And Keri, there was something some point you wanted to mention about this whole thing too, right? About the fires and everything. Or not?
No, I don't think I have any comments.
But you got so much going anyway. How can you pay attention to it? It's just a tragedy. What's happening there? It's heartbreaking. Yeah. It's just it doesn't make sense. And I think that a lot of people out there are starting to realize, maybe we ought to pay attention. Maybe they should. By the way, our phone number is 888-808-8637. Our text line is 601-879-4395. And you can watch us because we live stream supertalk.fm/Mary. So you can do that. What you got? Oh, congratulations, by the way. You got a very important award. Tell the audience about that.
So I've been a member of the Mississippi Tourism Association since I opened the gallery. I've had a consultant who is, tied in with Visit Mississippi and said, you really want to think about that and how, since you're an art gallery that is all Mississippi artists, tying in with that tourism set of things, because people love to buy art when they travel. So kind of my perspective is, if they come here and they don't buy a piece of art to take home, that's on us. We should make sure that we're giving them opportunities for that. So we do like an art scavenger hunt that's drop-in, so anybody can come in for that. And we have a lot of things where we tie in and do plein air events and things like that where people can get connected and enjoy not just local people, but people that are traveling.
Well, I have to tell you, as somebody who's been to your gallery, Pacesetter Gallery, by the way, it's in Flowood, right next to Kohl's. And you can't miss it. It's right there. Wouldn't you love to expand yourself? Because you're so big and so busy, but maybe one day you will. But you have all things from Mississippi. It's paintings and it's wall things, but it's crafts as well. It's jewelry, it's clothing, it's tchotchkes, it's Christmas gifts, it's
pottery, lots of cool pottery.
Soap. By the way, people don't understand. There's a lot of soap making going on. Who would want to use it? It's so beautiful. You just pretty look at it, and it's all strictly from people in Mississippi. And what didn't you tell me one time? Somebody came up from the coast to sell some of their things.
Yeah, I have people from up in the Delta, up in Tupelo, Starkville, down at the coast. I have artists from everywhere. But getting the Tourism Attraction of the Year award, we received that from the governor at the Mississippi Tourism Association Governors Conference. That's a really big deal to me. Anytime we win an award, that just means I'm getting those Mississippi artists farther out and in front of people. And that's our big mission, is to help grow our economy through the arts, which if you look at our arts, they really reflect our culture, and it's something we should be really proud of.
There are things that anybody can, be attracted to. So here's Cliff Speaks. How long you been? Well, congratulations and welcome. How long have you been selling your work? And do you do some of the sip and paint things too?
I do.
Some of those.
We have one tomorrow night.
As a matter of fact.
Paint and sip, yeah, as a matter of fact. I've been doing it probably about almost 30 years.
Explain paint and sip if people don't understand what that means.
It's really a casual event. You come in and different subject every month, but you come in and it's a relaxed atmosphere, and it's basically just to have fun. There's food, and you just sit back and enjoy yourself.
An adult beverage, perhaps.
Yes,
yes.
That we have things that you can eat at your table, charcuterie and really fun snacks. And we put the music on and we just paint together. So we have a lot of people that come out for date night, just to make friends and have some creative community. It's very fun. We just have a good time. We want people to get creative in the gallery.
Well, do you have to bring an easel? Do you have to bring your own paints? What?
No, everything's provided. You just come and enjoy yourself. And
any medium, whether it's water, oil,
it's acrylic. It's fun acrylic. It's not serious. It's just it's colors, and you're there to have fun.
And that's very cool. You don't
can
have to be an artist. You don't have to be. I don't know how to draw a paper. I can't draw a straight line, but you can learn how to draw a straight line, can't you?
Yeah. Each artist that is doing the paint and sip kind of shows how they go about making art. And you can go to pacesettergallery.com to our events page. It has all of our events there, and get your tickets that way. So we have tickets still open for tomorrow night, and then we're doing a second one on the 18th because Cliffs are so popular. We don't want to tell anybody no that we're too full, so we're going to do it second night.
Lance, did I send you some stuff that Cliff did?
I'm working on that.
Oh, okay. I think they got a little fuzzy. Sometimes my photography is really bad. It's plain bad. But what's your medium, and what do you like to paint, Cliff?
I use acrylic, and for the longest time I've done stuff revolving around music that's related to Mississippi or the South. It's a lot of guitar, piano, some New Orleans influenced stuff, but a lot of blues, mostly music based.
People
playing guitars, people playing the piano or whatever that might be. A lot of Delta blues influenced me.
Do you play an instrument?
No, I probably should never play an instrument. I've tried playing the guitar on and off, and
E, A, and B7. That's all you got to know.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
I stick with painting the guitars instead of trying to play them.
Oh, D, F, and G aren't bad either, but E, A, and B7, don't you think?
Those are important ones.
Yes.
And I think it's interesting too that same as me. Like when I put music on, the music I listen to affects what I make. So
that's true.
That's really cool.
So what kind of music do you listen to, Keri?
It depends. I listen to a lot of classic rock, blues. It's pretty wide. Old traditional jazz. I like a lot of different types of music.
EDM.
So I'm not so much, EDM, but I'm not against it. Maybe just death metal would be the one thing I don't listen to.
Oh, okay. And then Cliff, what about you? Do you listen to while you paint?
It depends. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll listen. Sometimes I don't. But a lot of times I'll listen to music that will get me into what I'm trying to do. And I used to do a lot of abstract stuff where I would listen to more jazz and things like that, or it just depends, and it also depends on your mood, how you're feeling. So, but music definitely starts to get inside of your brain when you're trying to be creative.
Oh, that's very cool. Hey, everybody, give these good people a holler or send us a note. We'd love to hear from you. What you got coming up? Keri has so much stuff going on at this gallery. This is the thing about you. It's not a quiet little place. I mean, it's a quiet place, but it's not a place that just shows things hanging on a wall and you go in and look at it. Quite the opposite. There's always something going on. So you got something special for Valentine's Day? Maybe that's the soap?
Well, we will have a near Valentine's paint and sip. So we have that coming up. In January, we also have the Royal Y'all, which that'll be the fourth time we've had this Jackson improv group come and play for us. They are great. They will ask a lot of questions of the audience and pull you into these really fast skits that are really so funny. So everyone in the audience is just laughing and feel connected to in the moment. So to me, that's an art, is being able to think quick on your feet and play off of other people in the group and, do these comedic sketches. So that's coming up on the 25th of January, 7 to 9. Tickets on the website at PacesetterGallery.com. And then also on the 26th, I go and teach a paint and sip at Table 100. So I partner with them. They do a 3-course meal. They have full bar set up.
Painting with a nice fillet.
Oh, it's really nice how they put it together, and everybody has a great time. And definitely, I love to get in front of people that haven't been to the gallery and encourage them to come by. So people will come check out the gallery. We're just right down the street from Table 100, so they're a great partner for us in Flowood. We'd love to collaborate with other businesses.
Well, how do you reach out to them? Is that how? I mean, and you've got.
No, I think they emailed me. I've painted in their lobby and had some other artists, just do like a fun painting in the lobby type of thing. So we've been partnering since we kind of opened up. But they really love the arts and are very supportive of that. And that's a special thing when you have a new business and you find other businesses that want to collaborate with you and support what you're doing. And I found Flowood's really big on that. So.
And then go someplace, Cliff. Have you ever painted on location? I guess would be the.
Yes, quite a few times. The last one we both went to Greenville for the Tamale Festival. That was back in October, and did a night painting in front of people, and then the next day at the festival painted in front of people walking by. And I've gotten used to it. It's definitely something you progressively get used to over time, but. It's actually not bad. It's interesting to see what because people will talk to you and ask you questions.
How you're doing that?
How are you doing that?
How do you do that?
Yeah. So
why don't you just do it?
Most artists find it terrifying. Let's just say that because it turns out really terrible. Like you're just sitting there with this horrible painting going, sorry. But Cliff can knock it out like a pro. I actually have learned a lot about how to paint live in front of people because he makes a really good example of like staying cool, calm, and collected about it. But he also has a collection at the Sheraton Rooftop Lounge.
I was going to say you've got that. Now, how did you get that? How did you do that? Did you go to them and say, why don't we do this, or how would you like to do this, or how did that happen?
I'm just really...
You are such a marketer.
I'm always like visualizing like how can I do something else and tie in with somebody. So they opened that Sheraton like within 2 weeks of the gallery opening. So I met with the owner and was like, hey, we need to do something. So it took a couple years for us to get to where we had an idea of what we wanted to do. But that rooftop lounge, I mean, you feel like you're in downtown Chicago in this like modern place. They have music. You can look all the way to downtown Jackson. They have a specialty drink called the Pacesetter. And
cool.
Whole
What's in it?
I don't drink, so I know it's like lemon something. I really can't say say everything
Cliff,
that's in it.
I actually don't know. I'm going to have to try it now.
People tell me it's delicious, but
okay.
I don't drink anything. I think it's got cat head vodka, so that's local, right?
Yes.
So keeping it local. But the whole room is like super dark gray, so all these paintings from the artists really pop. And we sell the work from there, so they will wrap it up for you. If a tourist comes through and they find something really cool Mississippi-wise, a great way for people to come and experience the art. And, I would tell everybody, they're open 4 till 11. Maybe it's because people think sometimes it's a hotel, but, it's a venue. So I always tell people, go up there, enjoy it. It's really a cool place. We had an opening and had 500 people come to that opening up
great.
there.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it was really great. But he's got, I think, 3 pieces, three large pieces, plus we have a gallery wall right now that I call the super music jam wall. We've got Tony Davenport, we've got Cliff, D. Cosmo. It's all pieces that kind of celebrate music and that vibe and that feeling you get with Mississippi music. So I like to make the different walls have themes, and that's one of my favorite walls right now.
Wow. What would be another wall? Floral or something?
I have some Mississippi landscapes, that show, just like maybe some of the colors are like rusts and there's some farm equipment and fields and that feeling of being out in the country. So I like to kind of theme the walls. That's kind of an art, is how you put the walls together.
Yes.
And I get a lot from that. I didn't realize how much creating the spaces would feel like an art to me. So I really do enjoy that part of it.
Her head explodes with this stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And I think that's why this has been so successful, is what she's put into it and put all of that energy into. And it is, when you go in there, there's walls that you get different feelings from.
Wow.
And it's a nice escape to get in there and stay for a while.
How old is Pacesetter now?
3.5 years old. So we're still, we're still a new
Baby
business.
stepping, but successfully baby stepping.
It's been a journey, as an entrepreneur, working for other businesses and in business and art. Prepared me, but it's totally different when you're just standing on your own 2 feet and making it happen, And really, the gallery would only be open if we have people in the area that support us and believe in what we're doing. So I thank everybody that is intentional about coming and spending their money buying gifts for Mississippi and supporting our artists.
Let's take a break here. We'll be back. We're talking about all kinds of cool things having to do with Pacesetter Gallery. Keri Davis and Cliff Speaks are here in the studio. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back to Mary Wieden and You. What is this music?
Smooth.
Ain't no sunshine.
Oh, that's the truth of it.
Tommy Jones.
I happen to have an all-weather coat. It's a trench coat, but it has a zip-in lining, and I zipped my lining in today. My gosh, it's so awful. Anyway, welcome back, talking artwork and artists. And Cliff Speaks. Okay, and Keri just said this during the break. So you were featured on Hometown magazine in Rankin County. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How you and your family, or what was the cover?
I think it started when I did an event. It was a 5K run with food and all that for Brandon, and I went down and did a live painting. And the people that do the magazine, they saw that and they were like, we would like you to do something similar specifically for the magazine. So I did that, and then they published it, and it was very nice.
Well,
very
what
cool.
was it that you did specifically for the magazine?
Kind of a guitar playing, blues guy with some Brandon things kind of in the background.
You are a Brandon native.
Brandon native.
Yes,
yeah.
we should say that you really stayed true to your hometown, haven't you?
Yes, I love Brandon. Cool. It's a great place.
You went to school there and everything, and
I
you
did.
live there. Still live there. Keri, you're from Texas originally, right?
Originally, yeah. My grandmother had an art gallery, so it was like, you're going to Grandma's house. Well, I just got dropped off at the gallery, so luckily I wasn't a climber or anything. But I fell in love with paintings, and when you're young, it's a magical time that you connect to art, and I always felt at home and comfortable. So I think that's a lot of why, to me, the gallery, I want it to be for everyone, that they come in. You don't have to be know everything about art. You just have to know what you like, and people will get a coffee or a smoothie down the street. We're just right down from that cups, and come and browse like a Saturday morning or in the evening before they go out to eat locally. There's so many good places to go and eat. So I want it to be a place where it can be a part of people's lives, and they can relax. So
and you learn how to do gallery. By the way, it's Pacesetter Gallery if you're just tuning into us. Pacesetter Gallery is, I don't know the name of the street or anything. I live there, but I don't even know the name of the street. But it's just it's next to Kohl's in Flowood.
Yeah, Highway 25 and Old Fannin. So we're right on the corner. Like if you've ever been to Ichiban, we're right back behind that. We're right there with great parking, easy access.
You got Hollywood Feed, and you got the thing down the street, the fruits or whatever it is. It's a juicer.
King.
Is that what it is?
There's a new cookie place, around the corner.
Crumble. Ooh,
so you could bring a grandkid out and go do the scavenger hunt, get a cookie. Like it's a whole afternoon with taking a kid out to do something fun. And in the winter, it's not cold in there, and in the summer, it ain't hot in there. So I mean, it's definitely a good fix for that. But we sell a lot of art from our website. Everything in the gallery is on the website.
And the website is?
It's pacesettergallery.com.
Okay.
And we ship all across the nation. I get orders in and package them professionally, and we do free gift wrap. So if somebody orders something and they put in the notes, wrap this for gift wrap and send it to my aunt, that's what we do. So it makes it really easy. But we do free gift wrap.
Send me a Cliff Speaks piece, please, and just put that right in there.
Oh, we've shipped some. We've shipped a number of big paintings to people across the nation for him.
I think it's the same way with the Sheraton too, right?
Uh-huh.
You can actually buy it there and then have it shipped
to where you want.
Yeah, free shipping from the Sheraton.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell me, I want to know about you, Cliff. How you work? Like, do you do large pieces, small pieces? Do you do from pictures, or do you do from your head, or how do you do it?
Mostly medium to large. Large would be 24 by 48 or 36 by 48 or something like that.
Pretty good size.
But I mainly do things from if I see something I like on the internet or something, I may print it out and draw some things, change things here and there, and kind of get into what I like. And a lot of what I do with the blue stuff or the painting stuff is mix in words or lyrics to things, which kind of comes from a graphic design background, which is what I do during the day. So I kind of mix those things in, and it's interesting to me. So I'll maybe see lyrics or make up lyrics or, mix in places and things like that into the painting, which to me is a more graphic piece, which is interesting to me. So
yeah, we were talking about people watching you do your work. I think there are a lot of artists who I've read about or seen them where they don't really want to let something go because it's their person is in that painting, and so they don't want to sell it But I would think that if you have the talent to produce something like that, you want to share it. Sell it. Go ahead, do that.
You can always make more.
Exactly. You can keep the original and do prints, do another one. Do you ever have that feeling?
Well, I did. I think everyone has that feeling at first, and then you get to the point where you're going through a process of creating something, and a lot of times with artists, it's never done. It's I could just do this, I could just do that, and you could do it forever, and you just have to let it go, live with somebody else, and then come up with something else. It's always about the journey of it, but it has to stop somewhere and start over again with a new work. So.
How long does it take you to do a work, or does it depend on what's going to be?
It depends, yeah. With the class that we do, it's a smaller piece, but it takes about an hour and a half of total time. But it kind of flies by because everybody's usually having fun, and they may have trouble with this or that, but it's usually a regular painting, a larger painting may take a week or two to finish. I may go through it kind of fast, but then kind of slow down and make sure I've got everything.
Do you ever back off and then come back to it and add things or take things away? Do you ever do that, Keri, too?
Oh, yeah.
You add or take away. It's like, it isn't quite finished. You think it, but it's not. Yeah, I need some tweaking here, tweaking there. Does that happen?
You could get too close up on it and too involved with it, and you need to have some perspective and step away and then walk past it for a while. And I think that's something we all do. We get that feeling of like, okay, now I'm ready to go back to that one. So I might have 3 or 4 paintings going at the same time, and then I'm kind of rotating through the different ones as I get a feel for what I want to do next. But one thing I love too, Cliff's been with the gallery since I opened. So one of the things I'm looking for when I choose artists is a great partnership, because we're basically helping each other build our businesses together. And, we're helping each other with whatever our strengths are or our weaknesses are. We're finding ways to improve or find ways to keep promoting and things like that. And we do a lot of commercial projects. We've done, like UMMC had a piece that they commissioned for somebody's office. So we work with interior designers and people that need a large commercial piece that really speaks to the Delta, or, his work is really gestural. Restaurants, places like that are a great, ways to get some of Mississippi art out there. So I always say, if you have a commercial building, if you're about to open a new office, a new restaurant, like contact us. We can help set the mood for the feeling of your space and really give it some Mississippi art. And we also usually do some social promotion with that business because we're collaborating together. So we love to say, hey, this business is already thinking about how can they be a part of their Mississippi community and, help out the community. So we love to talk about those locations that are thinking, let me intentionally focus on an original piece instead of buying a print from out of the country, because a lot of those prints, are not something that you're going to have made here, really.
One thing that's really good about what you do is you don't intimidate people. People don't go, oh, I don't know anything about art, so I can't. No, not at all. Art it's all around us, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, don't be intimidated by that stuff, and you could learn how to be an artist as well. And you'll be maybe encourage people, obviously you encourage people to do that. And it just brings it on a more realistic level. It doesn't, say you're over here and, I don't know anything, I'm over here. Not at all. Not at all.
Well,
like that.
I think the artists, we are not middle of the road. We don't feel middle of the road all the time. We have ups and downs, emotionally. And I think that's the same thing for musicians or anybody that's creative, is that creative place you go to is in response to needing to deal with, like blues players. They have the blues. They're feeling down. It's a response to those ups and those downs. So I'm glad I'm not middle of the road, because I need something that I can tie into that I have to express. Yeah. And I think when you make art, especially when you come in the gallery, you might kind of tamp stuff down a lot and not express it and get it all the way out of yourself. I think, a lot of social media, looking at your phone and stuff like that, it's kind of like not wanting to deal with what's going on and ignoring it versus with art, it's out. You're done with it. You're moving on. And so I like for people to come in and be able to kind of, learn that. How can I deal with my ups and downs? I can, express myself. How can I be myself? Who am I? All those things are tied to some type of artistic expression. So it's training you how to do that.
I used to know this woman who she became an artist late in life. She had a son who died. I don't know the circumstance of his death, but her early works were dark and angry and haunting. But she gradually grew and grew and grew, and she smoothed out. It was scenery and whatever. And then she got into doing commissions of people and beautiful work. Just absolutely gorgeous work. From here over here to the sadness and the horror of it, to the beauty of these other things. That's an interesting thing to see.
Yeah,
do you see that in yourselves?
Yeah, I think you do. When you're at a point in your life, you're going to be painting or creating things around that point in your life, and as that changes and you grow or get older or whatever, those things are naturally going to change. Your interest and you may like color now, you may not later on. I think that's interesting though to talk about the paint and sips. Is people will come in. Yeah. And they're not nervous, but they're like, I don't know how this is going to turn out.
Like if I went there,
But I think most of the time, almost all the time, everyone leaves surprised, and I'm surprised that when you start talking about, draw this, do a circle, do that, and you look at them and they're like, I'm not understanding this, or this is not good. But by the time they're done, they're like, I'm surprised at myself. Wow. I really like what I did. So
that's very cool. Well, before we say goodbye, do what you got coming up. Paint and Sip is when?
This Saturday night, 6 to 8, on the 18th from 6 to 8.
And you're gonna be there, Cliff, right?
Yes.
He's teaching it, and it's kind of like a show. I mean, he's putting on a show. It's all fun. We're having a great time. So we still have tickets. The weather's been a little off, but it is nice and warm in there. We got the grooves going on. It's so much fun. You can go to PacesetterGallery.com to get tickets for anything we have going on. Makes it really easy. And you can explore all the artists, by medium, depending on what you're looking for.
Well, how many people can come to Paint and Sip?
We do no more than 35 for a Paint and Sip.
That's big. That's very big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, and how long does it last?
It's 2 hours from 6 to 8 o'clock. But people will shop around the gallery and come in early or stay a little late and wander around. Find a gift for somebody, and also, buy some pieces. If Cliff's got new pieces in the gallery and they get to know him, a lot of times people like to buy a piece of art from somebody they know, because it's a way to remember the experience of being in that place.
And you get to take home your own And how big a piece are you working on? What dimensions?
It's 11 by 14.
Yeah, 11 by 14.
That's sizable enough.
It's not intimidating.
Sizable and frameable. If you do you have people who go, I'm surprised myself. I think I'll put this in a frame. That will happen. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you sell frames?
We do not sell frames. I've got an F on my plate. I tell everybody, go to Neblets.
Go to Neblets.
Yeah, they support the arts. They have been sponsors for events that we have. Anytime I need something, they put out our flyers for these different events. They're just right around the corner.
Yes.
They're right in front of Lowe's. So they're only like a block away. If I have a commercial job, I go and do it and buy my frames from them or for my own art. And a lot of the artists in the gallery, they use Neblets, who's a local company. They have multiple branches, Flowood, Clinton, and Madison. So
they are.
Tommy and his staff over there are top notch.
Yeah.
We're a big fan of them, and they have been a great partner for us.
And by the way, so you are also a musician, Keri.
Yes.
Real quick before I go, who are you playing with and when?
Andy Henderson, we've just started playing. It's Keri and the Keys.
Keys?
Keris.
Okay.
So you can go follow us on Facebook, and then you'll be able to see when we're playing. But we do classic rock, blues, traditional jazz. He's a fantastic piano player. You might have seen him play at Table 100 or Char. So be looking for that.
And we're looking for you. Cliff, we're gonna work for you at Paint and Sip.
Tomorrow
Look for
night.
your pieces at Sheraton and at Pacesetter.
At Pacesetter.
Everybody, we'll be back. Thank you very much, and good luck to both of you. We'll see you in a matter of time, and congratulations on the Tourism Award.
Yes,
Number
thanks.
one attraction, which is fabulous. Tourism is great business anyway. All right, we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Stay where you are. Get my chair over here. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. I hate the summertime when it gets to be 100 degrees, right? I mean, I said in that summer of 23, I don't care if it's 50 below zero in the wintertime or whatever. Put on an extra sweater. Well, I truly feel that way. This cold weather, yeah, we should just enjoy it because we know that we're going to have to pay for it in the warm weather. And, you must have an extra blanket to throw on or something like that. I mean, I got 2 wool blankets and, I'd much rather have that than some heat where you can't do anything about it, even though you run air conditioning. The cold is good and healthy. It makes you be strong and eat good things like soup and meat and stuff like that. Enjoy the cold weather. I mean, a lot of people are just horrified that it's this cold. And just don't be horrified, okay? Just take it and enjoy it. I don't know. What do you think, Lance? I don't know. Are you
With the weather?
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do about it other than just kind of
throw on an extra piece of clothing? Yeah, really. Well, I was very concerned this week. I was watching, we were going to have those icy roads and stuff like that. And I was composing a memo in my head that I was going to send to you and our bosses saying that I couldn't come to work if the roads are going to be icy because I cannot drive in it. Yeah, but you're from up north. Well, that doesn't make any difference. Nobody has a break in ice when it comes to ice on roads. I don't care where you're from. Alaska. You don't get a break. And then you're driving with people who don't know how to drive it anyway, don't even know how to think about it. It's like, no, I don't want to kill myself. I don't want to kill my car. And I have to go over, especially Spillway Road. Well, the causeway is bad enough because that can ice over. But the spillway part where Spillway Road comes near the breakers and there's that used to be a deadly curve and it's still not a very good curve. They stretched it out, a few years ago. So it's a little bit wider, but that's very scary. And I was picturing a pileup of cars in a wreck. And I thought, yeah, I really want to go through that to get to, I mean, there's no other way to get here. I mean, I guess I could go like downtown and come around the long.
Down Lakeland and Ridgewood would be like
wouldn't that be
skiing
fun?
in the mountains.
Wouldn't that be fun? Oh, it'd be so much fun.
I take Ridgewood as little as I can, given that it's like going the downhill slalom just to miss the potholes, and they're not potholes. I mean, they're like
The gouges.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's like
they go deep.
There are a couple places coming up on Fontaine, I guess it is. If you're going southbound, there are these 2 dips of the road. I swear that they're going to be holes. I think
There's a sinkhole under it, probably.
Well, yeah, and terrible. There are 2 of them like that. I'd rather go skiing than do that. But so I thought, well, I'll just have to send in a memo and just hope that you all can put a rerun show up because. It'd be crazy, but
Well, I
was
was
watching
up-
the weather.
I got
as long as it's above 32, yeah.
Well, and I didn't think we were. It looked like to me around Pickens or a little north yesterday. That adjusted to around Highway 82, which is up in Winona area. So it didn't look like we were going to get the freezing temps, which was good. I was really hoping we weren't going to get like freezing rain. They would get on the lines and start popping power lines because we do have an update from Matt in Burnsville saying no power on the farm south of Burnsville. Been out for a while now. So yeah. I expect we'll hear more of that as the day goes on. And we've had, some stations that have had some trouble this morning because of the cold temps. And hopefully, as Houston says, as the temps rise, if you're out listening and you're not hearing us as you should, hopefully things will get a little better as the day goes on.
What do you hear in Oxford?
Well, I had several people text me personally this morning, one or two on the way in and when I got here, and the snow looked pretty. It was thick and white, wasn't the icy.
Is it packing snow?
For Mississippi, it looked.
Packing snow is, there's the stuff that it's pretty, but it's so cold you can't pack
powder,
it.
But it looked more like packing
snow.
Yeah.
That's good for snowball fights and snowman.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of kids out having fun this morning up there where the temps are going to hang on in that under freezing. Here in the central area, we'll be getting up into the 40s and the upper 40s, and the rain won't have a chance to freeze. So that's a good news.
Well, tomorrow night might be kind of chilly. It changes so much. I thought I heard somebody say that there might be some flurries tomorrow. I don't know.
You never know. I walked out of the office a couple of days ago, and there were a couple of pinhead-sized flurries going around, and nobody else around reported it, but it didn't last 20 seconds. So, and then Sunday there may be, you may get. I think there's like around a 20% chance of precipitation late in the day, Sunday, late afternoon into the evening. So that would again be the central area, the Delta included in that. So you never know. I mean, it's. With all this rain and stuff, those dead pine trees, I always like to remind everyone, if you're getting out early in the morning, the lights are still off and everything, those pine trees with weight, water, and a wind, you're going to see some tipping over. So please keep your eyes peeled as you drive, and you can't see very far because there are going to be some down.
You seen any of that stuff?
I'm going to drive on the spillway on the way back just to make sure. But, yes, I didn't see any. I saw a couple of limbs and a couple of things that were just, they were there. But they were not in the road yet. So I was a little worried that we would have reports this morning that there would be people encountering that, but not yet. So thank goodness. But true, if you are seeing those dead pines that are still lining roads, just be aware of them because they have been falling and in these types of conditions in the last month.
Yeah, that's a shame, but that's what has happened to the pine trees. You see why I'm not a tree lover? I mean, I lived in a house for 10 years that had 36 trees on it. Every time the wind would blow, I'd be out there with my blower, all this kind of stuff. And so when I built this house, it was like, the lot didn't have any trees on it, like, good. And so when it came for landscaping, the guy goes, "Now, Miss Case, let me put you a tree." I said, "Oh, all right, you can put a Bradford pear way far away from the house out front." So, because I don't want to spend my life cleaning up trees. And so that thing lasted about 7 or 8 years. And then one time I had to rake up 8 bags of leaves, and I said, "That's it. It's done. I'm done with it." Besides, Bradford pears can get so gnarly anyway after they get a few. So I don't have any trees. I have, what do you call them? Crepe myrtles, but they're not trees either. I chop those down. I murder them every year, except for this year. I didn't do one out by the front that used to know that it was a bush. It was supposed to stay a bush. Well, this year it became this gargantuan, out-of-control tree, and I've been working on it bit by bit by bit, and it will be chopped down. I will definitely chop it down. To murder the lost. I don't mean chop it down to kill it. I mean just chop it down to just be like a little murdered stump.
That's people plant those. A lot of builders do because they grow so quickly and they provide cover so fast. And if you don't really take
Bradfords,
no, the crepe myrtles. Yeah. They move. They get upward pretty quickly. And if you prune them right and you keep them moving up, they'll have that nice little towering effect where they sprinkle over, or else they'll just grow wild and sideways and they get in the way of your car.
It was that way this year, but it's not now. And it was a lovely little bush, and it's going to be another lovely little bush this year, because I'm going to pay special attention to it. There are such things as, I got some dwarfs in the front of my house. There are 3 dwarfs out there, and I don't have to do much to them at all. They never get very big. They're about 5 feet tall at the most, maybe. I guess, and they sort of stay that way, and they're real sweet and nice. Just like, shut up and be quiet, but these other ones are not like that. I have some that just, they fight to live, and I've got 3 on one side of the house that they would climb over the top of my house in 3 weeks if they had the opportunity. I don't do that either. I don't tolerate that stuff. But anyway, no trees for this girl.
And my dad, he had we used to burn all the leaves in his yard, about a 3-acre lot of pine trees, oak trees, and he had his guy out there. My dad's had some health issues, so he hadn't been able to get out there on the mower and do it. But the man in the front yard, I bet he's done 100 bags. In just the front, and that's the small part of the yard as far as leaves.
Leaves.
Yeah.
Well, he
told me the other day, he goes, they came by and picked up all 30-something of those. I'm like, yeah, that's like round 3. I mean, it's amazing how much a tree will produce and leaves and
Well, before my subdivision got finished out practically, and I hated that because there were a lot of pine trees around, I would go scoop up pine straw.
yeah.
I can't tell you, I must have scooped up thousands of dollars worth of pine straw in the years. I could do it, and then it got smaller and smaller and smaller. But now, even my best lot down the street got developed. Darn it! There's one empty lot, and there's somebody in the subdivision who goes around and cleans that up before I could ever get over there. But yeah, I mean, make use of you if you got per people who have pine trees. I'm not going to have any pine trees, but if you got them and use it for pine straw, lucky you.
I did that earlier, and I probably got about a half acre worth, to cover.
At your house?
And there's an area in the neighborhood where the landscaping crews, blow it up, and it was that beautiful red. It just fallen in the long leaf and no junk in it. I took a sheet over there and bagged up everything. Made several trips and were able to cover everything.
Well, there's a way to do it. There's an art to it, where you can, people say, oh, that's got needles and not needles, it's got pine cones and something. Well, you can scrape off the top. You can work it. You can work it just so that what you're getting is the good stuff.
Yeah,
and it's not hard.
I throw the pine cones just throw them as far away from you as you can, one after another. Then
I just leave them
take a light rake and just rake the top. And get that good stuff.
Well, I just leave the pine cones there. Oh, you want to stay there? Fine, you can stay there. But I learned how to do that. And there's also a way, by the way, once you have it, I think you have to have a metal rake to do this, though, but you can refresh your pine straw. You can use the metal rake to turn it over. I don't know how to do that. I have a big plastic rake, but I'm not that much of an aficionado of all that kind of stuff. But getting it, I know how to do that, and putting it, I know how to do that too. I don't do this little shaky thing where they do the yard people. They go like this, little
just throw it out.
No, they do it in little touches. I just take globs. I put globs down.
Just like you, yeah. I just get as much, throw it out, and then spread it.
Well, I want globs though. I want it to really, cover up whatever I'm trying to cover up, grass and stuff like that.
It doesn't take long for it to lose its red, and you can kind of see through it, and you got to go, oh goodness, I got to find more.
Oh, don't worry about that. Only when it gets really bad. If it's really disgusting, or if it's blown away. This is another thing that gets to me. Lawnmower stuff, with blowers, they blow that stuff away. It's like, hey, I worked very hard to get that stuff. Well, everybody, you all stay warm out there, okay? And be cool. I think it's supposed to be in the 50s next week, so we'll be saying, oh, it's just like spring out here. Won't we be saying that? But anyhow, enjoy today. Be careful out there, and have a good weekend.